Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to another China Insider with David Zhang video on how China is 100 years ahead on infrastructure. Man, oh man, China is got they got the best infrastructure, guys. They're living in 2125. Anyways, link to this video will be in the description down below, so make sure to go and check it out. But yeah, China Insider with David Zhang. I really enjoy this channel. He's very informative. He's able to get a lot of information out there for a lot of us that would normally be blocked by the Great Firewall of China. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive into it and see the reality of Chinese infrastructure, shall we?
I sincerely hope this video is showing off prop rebar.
So look at this rebar. Interesting, very interesting.
And not actually used in buildings. But then again, it's China.
What is this? What is happening here? Why is he hitting this? Context?
You can't trust Chinese construction of anything. And welcome to the extreme competition of
Oh my
Chinese
god, what are they
Tofu
doing? What? That's not... You probably don't want to do that. Why? Why are we watching this on loop? We understand! We understand! Enough with the loop!
This bridge was built in...
Did he just say this? What did he say?
This bridge was built in...
This bridge, okay. This bridge was built in 2018.
In 2018. 7 years later, it's already looking post-apocalyptic.
That's rough. That's real rough, guys. That's super rough.
And this bridge had just opened, yet moments later, after small cars were tested on the bridge, a portion of it sank.
Oh my god. What is this? What is this, Billy Billy?
These infrastructure and residential areas,
or is this what is Chinese TikTok? Oh, their version of TikTok called Daoshin or something like that?
Are breaking down. It's actually bizarre to me, but it just seems like something is really wrong in China. And this is a skywalk in Changzhou City, which is about 3 hours west of Shanghai, and it just collapsed like it's Lego.
Wow. That's scary. Imagine being on that. That's frightening.
Pretty sure Lego is stronger. Now in China, these type of single family homes, they call them little...
What in the world is going on?
Mansions are quite rare, as most people in cities especially live in high-rise buildings and in these apartment complexes. But this one is just splitting like crazy.
What? Everything's warping.
Jiangsu Nantong Country Garden project, which people are calling this a nickname, Peanut Crisp, and it looks like it's just foam inside the walls.
They put concrete, or they put foam inside of the concrete?
This high-speed rail project
is... Oh my god, look at this culvert. That's terrible. That's terrible installation.
Material cost, which obviously leads
look
to
poor at that. Oh my god.
And lots of cracks. And these are just some of the everyday struggles that Chinese people go through, yet you don't hear them in the news. Now,
well, you don't hear them in the news because China's Great Firewall. This sort of stuff is blocked entirely. The propaganda machine is strong in China.
I've shown you some really extreme tofu drag moments, and here are just some of them to refresh your memories.
What is that? Oh my god.
And before continuing, if you're watching China Insider and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do and turn on the notification because we have videos like this every single week discussing the real issues in China.
Oh my god, he's crumbling with his hands. Oh my god. He's either the world's strongest man or that's real. Oh my god. That would be terrifying. He kicked it and the whole thing's just collapsing like a dynamo. Dynamo? Dominoes.
Of course, my favorite.
I've seen this. This is scary. Oh my, that guy got so lucky. He is so lucky.
But I think China in recent years have taken it to the next level.
They're breaking it with a glass bottle. That is literally foam. That's that's literally styrofoam. Look, it's that's literally styrofoam. This whoever made this guy's house, that's a sack. That's like a burlap sack. What is that? No clue. That's styrofoam. Love that. Dirt?
The fact that in this video that you can use a bottle to smack against the wall and not break, it just shows you how soft the material really is.
Oh yeah,
Anything
it's
harder
like
than
concrete.
foam, styrofoam, would shatter the glass. Extreme.
Yeah, it's like you would think it's like concrete, right? But no, it's just breaking apart.
Because anything harder than foam, styrofoam, would shatter the glass. Extreme tofu drag, actually. It's like almost like they're competing to see who can build the worst foundations, who can lay the worst construction down, and who can essentially cut the most corners, build the fastest at the same time, and pocket the most amount of money. Now, there's a nickname for China, which is infrastructure demons, and this was coined by Chinese internet users. They love building infrastructure, laying down new buildings, new roads, new bridges. Those come up really fast, and they also go down, well, also really fast.
Wow. Oh my god.
People are always impressed with how fast China builds things. They have a lot of people, very cheap labor, so things are built fast. But you also have a lot of ways in which, well, parties involved can make a lot of money.
There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of cost cutting. It's not good. It's not good.
From building things. And infrastructure has been one of the main ways in which local governments can produce their high number of GDP in the past years, especially during the height of Chinese development from the early 2000s to, I would say, before the pandemic in 2020. You essentially had people handing out contracts left and right to build new things. And that's the main core reason why Chinese cities look so urban and so advanced and so polished. It's because of this infrastructure push, right? But at the same time, you got to understand the greed level within the CCP and within these local governments and their partners are so extreme that they want to make the most amount of money on top of what's already being made. And that really generates this idea that cut corner, build fast, and we can move on to the next project. And that's also essentially what led to the so-called real estate boom. Suddenly it became a real estate bubble with so many of these large developers going bankrupt because they had built, artificially increasing its so-called demand from the consumer side, essentially pushing this idea that everybody needs to get a home, to now overbuilding, and you have growth cities, you have unfinished constructions, which is actually a big one, and continuous exposure of tofu drag.
What in the? Why are there so many manholes? That can't. That. Huh? What? What is that? Why?
Like why are there so many drainages in this video? Now, in this month, China suffered some extreme weathers across different cities. You had strong winds in the north to central part of China. You even had a sandstorm in Guangzhou, which is in the south.
Gosh.
And in Beijing and Henan province, we saw some of the worst winds. Now, this is not like a tornado or a typhoon type of situation or a hurricane, but it also meant that buildings were exposed for quality issues.
That's terrifying. Oh, there goes all the... It kind of looked like they were solar panels. Rough. Oh, he got lucky. The cladding's falling off.
Imagine the fear of being a Chinese pedestrian during these times.
The whole railing of the bridge, just, you can see there's nothing holding it there. Look, there's literally nothing here. Normally you'd have like a rebar or something, sticking up to join everything, right?
Things are just falling over. Now, you could say that these are just cosmetics.
Oh my gosh.
They don't really hurt the building or the integrity of the building itself. And obviously, they're not going to hurt the function of the building. Well, I don't think it's just the outside. This is in the inside, which these columns are also Tofu dreg projects as well.
The rebar is all rusted. The cement's just chipping off. I'll be honest with you. If I saw that in a building, I'd be pretty scared. I would not be in that building any longer. Wow. The metal poking it ruins it?
Or in this case from 2024, the shop's entire foundation collapsed and is just hanging there in the air.
What? The whole front of the building is just gone? Don't go under there. What are you doing?
Same thing here, the tall building base is cracked. How long can this tall building last? It's like China is creating tofu dreg miracles, literally flying in the air.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Why are balconies like this?
Oh no! That's scary. You just a little tap and it's just popping off. Look at that. It's so rusted. Very frightening. He's just casually pulling them off. They're not even connected. They're just dabbed in. Look how they weren't even deep.
An entire window with it.
I've seen this. Again,
this
was scary.
Tornadoes or hurricanes.
Wow.
And this roof tower got blown over, blocks all over the roof. But it looks like no cement were added in between the blocks to actually glue it together. And so part of that tofu dreg situation is you get pieces that fall over onto the ground and you destroy a lot of cars in the process.
Probably hurt a lot of people potentially as well. Yeah, look. Wow. All those two-wheelers down there destroyed. Oh my god.
It's so dangerous. And this is in Shanxi province during the high wind.
Unreal.
Here in
Imagine
Inner
being there
Mongolia, the wind
and
blew
seeing
over
that.
this wall, causing damage to cars and to people. And in Henan province, we had this massive roof flying away. Things just fall apart. Look, I get it. Natural disasters, strong winds. But in China, it seems like they turn into hidden ninja traps to defeat the pedestrians and the cars. Here is a first-person view of what happens
Oh,
outside
my
of the
stomach.
wall after the wind. It's
Oh my
actually simple
God.
physics. Objects pick up speed and become, well, deadly ballistic projectiles.
Thank you for blurring that out.
So yes, it is dangerous, but you might be asking, how come I don't see the tall towers in Shanghai or beautiful city skylines in big cities in China falling over? Let's just say they won't do it where people put their attention. And they will do it definitely in places like rural villages, smaller towns, or even second-tier
They
cities.
they they
Take this
cut
for
they cut the corners in the places where you won't have external media attention.
example, Shanxi province. You thought it was an earthquake. Nope, just tofu dreg construction. These older looking buildings are actually relatively new. They built them in shopping districts to create this old China vibe, the classic looks, right? Historical looks. So they're not some 300-year-old building, which those actually last pretty long time. In fact, in Tang Dynasty, there's a way in which you can construct large buildings by simply putting pieces of wood together. I think Da
Huh.
Vinci also had something with the way he built certain things. You don't require any cement or anything wrapped or anything glued. It's literally just wood blocks pieced into each other,
They do
and
that
those
in
things last
Japan as
forever.
well,
Well,
right?
minus if there was a fire or something like that. So modern day creation of construction is simply, yeah, a human issue.
Does the ground collapse here, or what fall? Yeah, the ground collapsed. Okay, many videos like this.
Sinkhole
So
creation,
many
also
videos
another
like
big
this.
fun part of Chinese infrastructure. Roads that are looking, they look pretty nice on the outside, will sink into the ground and
Crazy.
cause a lot of problems for cars. Now, most of the time when construction is done, it looks at how much money is being pocketed by the parties involved. So the contractor, the developers, and the local government. The only person that really doesn't get anything out of it is the consumers.
The
So
normal
with money
person.
making in mind, this is the idea that you can get more done in a shorter amount of time, saving the cost. You can obviously
There's not
put
even
into other
connected.
areas or into your own pockets. Governments would do this back in the days where the more land they lease, the more you build, the faster you build. So again, it's a win-win situation for everyone except for the developers. So then you can imagine as a homeowner or a business owner, when this type of stuff happens, there's no accountability involved because everybody is in it together, right? They're going to push this
That's
responsibility
scary.
around,
Just a big
try to
old
delay
hole full of
your
water.
problem until one day you either give up or they're forced to make a small sort of compensation. All right, thanks so much for watching this episode of Extreme Tofu Drag. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like, comment below your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe to the channel, guys. Go subscribe to China Insider with David Zhang. Woof, terrifying. A lot of terrifying examples of this tofu dreg Chinese infrastructure. Some super scary stuff. Super scary stuff. Playing Jenga while inside the Jenga tower is very brave. Oh no. So many times I see people online praising the speed and quality of Chinese construction. This is criminally dangerous. As a civil engineer, these videos make my hair stand on end. We have such a mandatory profession, a construction supervision engineer, and in case of non-compliance with the materials, they are forced the builders to redo the work at their own expense. Not in China. The only high rise that collapsed in Bangkok during the earthquake was built by the China Railway Number 10. Yeah, I remember that. That was very big. That was a very scary video. If nothing else, this shows that modern Chinese construction is amazing at building hyper-realistic movie and TV filming sets because they seem to be what they have in mind. The presentation and appearance of actual construction is there, but none of the substance. China's a dream world heading for a very rude awakening. I'm more impressed that the structures can still stand despite all the substandard materials used. Only in China can you build a 60-story high-rise for less than $50 a story. The idea of staying in a Chinese skyscraper sickens me. I imagine that there's going to be a lot of negative comments. I'm very sorry for all the honest and hardworking Chinese people that get scammed and also put in danger with these constructions. Exactly, yeah. There's a lot of just innocent people that are getting, the rug pulled out from underneath them. Bruh, Fortnite would build it's harder than break than this. Do developers get held accountable? No, they don't. They are so advanced, they're reaching apocalypse earlier than everyone. That's funny. The whole building and places in every city of all over the country poses danger. No wonder rich people leave the country. Please show us something. No one thing built in current day China that is built with excellent materials and workmanship. Government is corrupt. Lots of corrosion of rebar can be contributed to sea sand during such a demand. It was easy to sell that not knowing customers. You know it's bad when Lego bricks are stronger building material than yours. Oof. I've seen dried mud stronger than concrete. I don't even know what to trust anymore. Like it's either clips like this or it's propaganda clips from Instagram, TikTok that make China look like cyberpunk. That's all just lighting. It's that stuff is the fake stuff. Uh man. Do they not have regulations? Nope. No, they're paid off. Their regulations is just typically they're paid off. Oh, at least it saves time for cost for deconstruction. 100 years ahead of degradation, maybe. Don't know why he kept knocking that pillar down after the first time. He knew it wasn't gonna hold up. Lol. That was a bit. It was a bit. You didn't have to replay that at the very beginning. Make you wonder about all those Belt and Road projects. Yeah, the Belt and Road Initiative all across the world. Not good. Not good at all. Guys, link to the video will be in the description down below. Make sure to go and check it out. Take care. Goodbye.